Hello, everyone. Welcome to a Professionally Unprofessional podcast. I'm joined once again by my good friend Reese.
Hello, everyone.
So, Reese, been a while since we've done this.
Yep, we've had a lot of things in the way. We've had tournaments, we've had a lot of game reviews to do, and not E3.
Yeah, not E3 happened while we were off it air, and I kind of forgot when we were promoting this that was probably going to be a thing.
Because we have 4 press conferences to talk about.
We'll talk about those press conferences after we talk about the releases. So,
Yeah.
I'll say one thing. One thing we said we were going to do last time we were on this because we didn't have enough time to play it was Yoshi. We'll get to that in a bit. I think we have to though talk about the. I think we have to each talk about some of the biggest releases that came out, and I think there's 3 really to talk about.
Yeah.
And we'll start with the one we both played and has done incredibly well, which is IO's interactive 007 game, First Light.
Yeah, I was seriously impressed with this. I am currently still working on my review. I should get done this weekend.
I just beat the final boss the last night.
Which final boss? Because there's a fake out.
Yeah, no, the actual final boss.
Okay, the actual final one.
Yes, I got in the credits, James Bond will return.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's final credits then.
So, I have now finished the Bond game.
Yep.
First Light.
And I've just checked as well. It's sold 3 million copies in under 2 weeks.
Very good sales. That is pretty
Very well
good.
received.
And I feel like a lot of people went a bit off the handle when that thing came out from Amazon saying, well, we're going to publish all of these. And I think it's just like saying, yeah, IO Interactive's not going to publish these. We're probably going to go back to them and have them as our developer.
Well, that's what we hope, because last time Amazon tried to develop games, it didn't go so well. With that, like Overwatch knockoff that instantly shut down.
Yeah, no. The Amazon don't do very good at that sort of thing. So they are. I think they're being smart now and saying, no. I think I didn't take that to mean, oh, we're booting IO Interactive off the next project.
Yeah,
Because
they'll be taking more control because they now control the franchise after buying James Bond.
I don't even think that much. I think they're just going to be. I think they're just going to put a few mandates like, don't do this villain.
Yeah.
Don't do this villain because we want to remake it for whatever reboot series we're doing down the line. And we know they are casting for a new James Bond.
Literally right now.
We do know as well. There's other things we know. We know it's not going to. And we know a few. We know that IO Interactive will want to keep on this. I mean, they've not got much to do with Hitman left. Like, Hitman's pretty much done.
Although, as we did see during the Summer Games Fest, they are doing one final celebrity collab for Hitman.
I know, that was a bizarre decision on my part. I was supposed to just make stuff for Bond. Like, I wouldn't mind some
literally.
I wouldn't mind some side stories that take place after this one.
Yeah, or how flesh out more of the side characters.
Yeah, there's a couple of side characters to flesh out, I'd say. I think my personal opinion on this, because you played a lot more of it. You finished this a lot sooner than I did.
Yep, I finished it Tuesday last week.
I honestly think this is really good. Like, I mean, really, really good. Like, I think I like this more than any of the Hitman games.
I say from a story perspective, yes, not so much a gameplay perspective.
I did not like how open. I'm kind of weird with the Hitman games. I kind of thought they were a little too open-ended, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, whereas Bond is a lot more linear with its game design.
There are a few points where you have to be a bit more creative, like the one when you're in the desert it's sort of in North Africa.
Yeah,
and it's like you've got to make $100,000 to get into that auction.
Yeah.
Like, there's loads of different methods. So, for example, when I did it, I knew I was going to get fleeced if I did any of the carnival games.
Yeah.
So I did the fight ring and then intercepted that art deal.
So I replayed this mission a few times ago, all the collectibles. The one I did first was the art deal and also the crypto exchange. We had to climb that giant cell tower.
See, I didn't do the crypto exchange out of the fact I wanted to look at myself in the mirror afterwards. Um, okay, what do we think of the new Bond?
I think he's great. He suits the role perfectly as a new Bond fresh to MI6.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job with him. I mean, he's kind of a mix. He kind of reminds me quite a bit of Pierce Brosnan's Bond, but it's sort of a younger version of it.
Yeah, a mix between him and Daniel Craig, I thought.
Yeah, I did notice a bit of Daniel Craig was in there, especially with the fact he takes it a bit too personally and then flies off the handle.
Yeah.
Uh, also, did you also get it when the villain first appeared? And you just went villain, villain, obvious villain.
Yeah.
Not even trying to hide it.
It's very obviously signposted.
Yeah, I know you're trying to do something here, but no, that's so obviously the villain.
Yeah.
Favorite,
especially for a modern Bond in this day and age, because he can't exactly have the old Doctor No or Blofeld anymore.
No, I mean, if you look at, remember when they brought Blofeld back in the Daniel Craig lot, and they basically had to get Christoph Waltz to play him because they needed someone who would not be so obviously Blofeld.
Yeah, and then they decided to retcon to be James Bond's brother for some reason.
Oh, that was so bizarre a decision. There was no reason for that whatsoever. That was like one of the weirdest decisions they made in the Daniel Craig era, in my opinion.
Yeah, it felt very unneeded.
Also, that new character, Isola, she's basic. To me, she kind of reminds me a lot of a cross between Lea Seydoux' character from the Daniel Craig era and Eva Green's character from the Daniel Craig era.
Yeah. But she does sequel bait quite hard, so we know she'll be up to something.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that. And without giving away any spoilers, I actually thought they did a very good job storyline-wise because they made this... They made Bond a less solitary character in this one. Like we got Greenway, who's probably the best character in this whole thing.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And he's great. I kind of also liked Monroe and the other recruits. I thought that was kind of cool having James Bond have a group of friends.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense. He is 007, not 001. So there are other agents besides him.
Yeah, exactly.
In the program, and go through training together.
I think there's some cool missions in this one. I think the two that stood out for me, other than the desert one, the ones that stood out for me was the hotel in Slovakia.
Oh yeah, for the chess tournament.
For the chess tournament, that one was quite good because it really felt like there was so many different ways to get to the different objectives.
Yeah,
it was probably the time it felt most like Hitman, I'd say.
Yeah, but especially because all these levels, like Hitman, they have challenges for them as well. Like at least 15 for different routes you can take through them, which I enjoy going back for these collectibles to get the platinum and doing these different optional routes,
which it
all felt really good and rewarding.
You did get the platinum as well.
Yeah, so you get most stuff on your first way through, except I was missing about half the collectibles because there was like 91 or 92 collectibles in this game, and I ended with about 50.
It's not obvious that these things are collectibles either. I got most of the collectibles that I got was in the final few missions.
Which is interesting because that's why I got the fewest.
That was fun. It was funny because I think I got like 3 or 4 of them in the final chapter.
Yeah.
I also think I like the version of Q they've got for this one.
Yeah, I thought it was really funny. I wasn't that keen on Daniel Craig's version of Q when he was like young and like a hippie nerd.
Yeah, Ben.
Whereas this is like more classic Q. Yeah, I prefer.
Yeah, I know what you mean because I like Ben Whishaw as an actor. He's really good.
Yeah,
good. Like he was the perfect choice to be Paddington.
Yeah, definitely.
But I must be honest, I was a bit mixed on the direction they went with Q in that one. It definitely feels like the Moneypenny from this one is much closer to the Daniel Craig era.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, I'm not. Also, I want to like this version of M more than I do, but we haven't had enough time with her.
Yeah, especially because she's mostly off screen a lot as well, dealing with Parliament and everything.
She definitely feels like Judi Dench's M.
Yeah,
but they don't have Judi. They don't quite lean to Judi Dench's thing of saying "oh fuck authority" when it's not going when it's clearly a wrong has been done. Like there's times in this where I felt like saying you cannot do this. This is a legal minefield if you try to do this. You're legally obligated to actually do something about it. You can't just say, oh yeah, fine, we're going to do this. I get it's very hard to say without giving away spoilers.
Yeah, but for comparison, she felt more like the classic Bond M's where they're giving Bond the briefing and then they disappear for the rest of the film.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like Judi Dench cost so much money in her appearances that they had to get the most out of her.
Yeah. Which I thought was breath of fresh air. Whereas in this, it's more a classic M where she's in the background more and we get more money penny instead.
Yeah, I think, as I say as well. Also, the driving segments are a bit thinner than I thought.
Yeah, and they're also very simplistic, the driving sections.
Like the best one was again in the Slovakia mission.
Yeah, but you're actually doing a car chase,
and that's about the only car chase you get. Like there's one kind of one at the end, but it's where they show off the big new Bond car they did for this.
Yeah,
and they barely do anything with it.
Yeah, the Aston Martin Valhalla, which was in the last Daniel Craig film, in the background they never actually used it. It was just a prop. Yeah. Whereas you use it in this game for one level.
And that was annoying. There is an update. There is a free DLC level that's going to be using the training sims.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll get to use it more in the tax sim.
Put it this way, that's the only reason I haven't deleted it off my server at the minute, because I've no intention of going to get the platinum for this. I don't have the patience for it.
Well, as far as platinums go, it was a very easy platinum. The most difficult thing was just getting the collectibles. That was it. Everything else I did naturally from my playthrough.
I'll have to check how many trophies I actually have for this one, because I got quite a few by the time I got the first gold trophy for beating the story.
Yeah, there's 38 trophies, and most are progression based.
So what? Okay, so here's one. Okay, so how would you say, in terms of stories, this Bond story goes? Because I'll say let's for simplicity's sake, say let's compare this for Daniel Craig Bond films.
Yeah.
I personally think I'd put it somewhere between Skyfall or Spectre, sort of between those two films.
Yeah, it's definitely not as bad as like Quantum of Solace, even though a lot of people are saying it is. I think it's a decent story, but we needed a more compelling villain.
That's the thing that Skyfall and Casino Royale have over it, is the more compelling villain.
Yeah.
Whereas this one doesn't quite pull that off.
Yeah, it's got good side characters, like we were talking about with the fellow agents and that, but that's about it. Once we get into that, the actual missions, most of the side characters are like fleeting.
Yeah, it's the one I didn't. And I will say, with Quantum of Solace, I do have a bit more sympathy for the cast and crew of that one, because that was a famously troubled shoot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you compare it with the Brosnan era, Tomorrow Never Dies also had a problem shoot, but that turned out really good.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I've just done my hot take for this one, that I liked. It's not my favourite of the Brosnan era Bond films. That would
the World's Not Enough.
No, GoldenEye. GoldenEye is definitely still my favourite.
Oh yeah. Of course, that's the Brosnan one.
I like The World Is Not Enough, but GoldenEye I think is just slightly better, and it's my favourite Bond theme.
But it is funny. So about Tomorrow Never Dies, when the villain of that film is very similar to the villain of this game.
I noted that at the time. I thought this is very similar plot line that the villain from Tomorrow Never Dies has, except it's unlike Rupert. Whereas the villain in that one is kind of Rupert Murdoch. In this one, they're kind of Elon Musk. Yeah. I thought it was a bit weird, a game that's published by Amazon. To basically make Elon Musk the villain.
Well, they can't make it Jeff Bezos, can they?
Well, no, they're not going to make it Jeff Bezos, obviously. But, also, I will say as well, the big issue I had with I did really like the game in many ways, but its checkpoint system is awful.
Yes, that's a major one for me because I tried to do it most like a stealth game, and when stealth failed, I wanted to go reload previous checkpoints, and it would take me about like 20 or 30 minutes.
Do you know what I found amazing though? There's other ones where I found if I did the same thing as you.
Yeah.
I did one where I thought, okay, well, it was in the one where you're breaking into that gala, you're breaking into security.
Oh yeah.
I failed the mission on that one. I was like, okay, I'll reset the thing. I'm like, so far back.
Yeah.
But I was like, but the autosave just took me there. Why is the checkpoint so far behind the autosave?
That's literally one of the points of my review. The autosave is so common, but the checkpoints are so sparse.
I don't think the game explains that. That is really something I feel like needs to be updated in a patch.
Yeah.
Incidentally, also another thing about that mission I don't like is I don't know why anyone tries doing the bluffing thing because it never fucking works.
Yeah, because bluffing works on the common guards, but if there's like a watcher or a leader, they can't be bluffed in the area.
No, I had it worse. Remember that security mission I was just on about? I bluffed my way through one of them, saying, "Oh, I'm the guy doing the coffee machine."
Yeah.
But then I walked like just behind them, and there's like a small wall behind them, and the guards are suddenly don't like me being there. I'm like, but you just heard me say to this guy, "I'm here to fix the coffee machine." Why is it not working for you two? You're not even special guards.
Yeah, that's the issue I had as well. Walls and environments don't carry over much stuff. By doing stealth takedowns behind a wall, I would to an enemy. I found guards in other rooms being alerted, like 10 meters away.
Now, I should say for clarity reasons, we both played this thing on base PS5, so we haven't got the PS5 Pro enhancements. We haven't got what you get for the PC in terms of like the way you can customize that, and we haven't played the Switch 2 version.
Yeah, so this is just base PS5. I played it all on medium difficulty as well.
Same.
Yeah.
How do you think the game looks and runs?
In most levels, it's fine, but I noticed on some others very low, muddy textures.
It wasn't just that. I noticed frame rate drops quite a few times in this, particularly in the big gunfights towards the end of the game.
Yeah, that happened with me. I noticed mostly with explosions would chug it.
Incidentally, I found most of the time I got through gunfights by running up and just beating the shit out of them. They wouldn't fire near their mates.
Yeah, that's the issue I found as well. Even when I was supposed to do combat, like the enemy hit detection just turns off when you're in melee combat.
Oh, no, I did not complain about that. That suits me perfectly fine. I do not want really difficult hand-to-hand combat in this.
Yeah, well, that's another thing it's got over Hitman is the hand-to-hand combat is a lot better. It felt very Sleeping Dogs where you're using the environment more when you're doing grapples and knockouts.
Or you just throw a mug or a wrench at someone's head, or you'd even throw your gun when it runs out of ammo.
Yeah, so what I found a lot was grabbing an enemy, even running them off a ledge or into an electrical object to electrocute them.
And if you do it, and sometimes I would find myself, the Q Watch is a cool gadget because I would find myself making someone sick so I could nick something from someone.
Yeah, the poison dart and the laser strap are the two most overused gadgets because they're so powerful.
Yeah, once you get those, you don't change anything. Just take those two to every mission, you're fine. And
especially for the collectibles, you're required to have the laser strap to break padlocks.
And I would also say the missile pen was quite good.
Yeah, but at that point, I was that does void some of the stealth challenges where you kill people and you're not supposed to. Since for a lot of these challenges, if you do stealth, you can't kill or be detected.
Oh,
and that does cause them to be killed.
2 words and it rhymes with muck crack.
Yeah. But speaking of challenges, that's a good way for replayability because of all the different routes you can take. Going stealth or going full combat mode, I thought was good.
So, I really think this is. I will also say though, I do think this is one of the best things I've played all year so far.
Yeah, it's definitely up there for me. Like if the stealth got fixed and performance patches came out, it'd be even higher. But as of now, it's a really good game. Not a great game, really good.
I would say as well, I haven't heard anything bad about the Switch 2 version either.
I don't know that many people have actually played the Switch 2 version, to be fair, though.
The reviews have been quite good for it from what I've seen, and
Yeah.
honestly, if it is a good sign if the Switch 2 is able to not only get these games at launch with the other consoles and they play really well. Well, but it's just the fact that we're not hearing these complaints. Like, do you remember some of the ones we had with the Switch 1?
Yeah.
It definitely feels like the Switch 2 has been festering very good third-party support, and it seems like they're working very well with their partners to make sure that these games come out very well.
And not just that, it's also proper versions, not cloud versions as well.
Yeah.
They're all running natively.
So Pragmata's launched as native. We've now had First Light, Resident Evil, and they've already announced the next Resident Evil is going to be on Switch 2 at launch. We know Kingdom Hearts 2 is coming at launch.
Yeah.
More on that later. I think it's time to move into the next game, which is Mina the Hollower.
Oh, just before we move on as well.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Apart from story mode, we do also have the tax sim mode, which I thought was quite good. Have you played any of that?
Not much of it. No, I only played a couple. I like it.
Yeah, so a lot of people complain the game doesn't go far enough to teach you the mechanics of the game. It's all in the tax sim and the training.
Yeah, absolutely.
As well.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'll say if people are struggling learning the controls, do the first tax sim one because it teaches more mechanics.
I disagree though with the opinion that the game doesn't give you a good tutorial. It doesn't go out.
No, it is good. It just doesn't teach you everything you can do in combat.
Right, I see. Yeah. So let's move on. Mina the Hollower, the latest entry from Yacht Club Games. It's sort of a tribute to old Zelda Game Boy Color games, but with a bit of Bloodborne thrown in the mix.
Yeah. This is also launched to amazing reviews. Everyone seems to love it.
I'm going to be joining in with those amazing reviews. It's fantastic.
Oh, so I've not had a chance to play this, but I have seen footage from and talking to you and my other mates who play it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go over the weaker points first. Actually, I'm gonna do this a bit differently.
Yep.
So weaker points are, I haven't found a map yet. Maybe there is one in the game that's there, but I haven't found it. So I'm often getting lost on a couple of occasions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I actually did find the next area. Like there's four. They basically give you the 4 areas you got to go to. You got to get, again, very Zelda-like. You got to launch these 4 generator spark things that sort of will relight the kingdom. And obviously there's a boss fight before each one. But the point is, it took me ages to figure out where the 3rd area was.
Right, so I've looked it up, and it's behind a side quest to get the map.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Why didn't I? See, I didn't want to look it up because I thought I don't want.
Yeah.
Areas, but incidentally, I did find it last night, and they said, and I think I found it last night, but they basically said, "Oh, you can't get here unless you power up the train system." And I was like, "Okay, well, I've been doing that already. I've got to so I've basically got to grind for currency to power up the train. Okay, fine, I'll do it, but." No, I like.
So that's actually different. To get the map, it's a side quest about rescuing 2 NPCs you need to do.
Ah, right, yeah, no, and they do a good job though with like giving you different trinkets for different like power ups and stuff like that. Like one of the ones I got early on gives you a sort of like extra life.
Well, that's very useful because of how difficult these games can be.
But they also they give you these things called you know how in Souls games it's like you die, the next one you lose it.
Yeah.
If you don't kill the enemy that killed you or you get back to the area you died at. This one has a similar thing, but you actually can upgrade it so you get so many goes of it.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, that's handy.
So basically, you get, I think they're called like spark canisters.
Yeah.
But basically, if you can buy or find them on the map or do extra side stuff to get them, you get so many chances before you lose all you've built up through grinding. You also can spend. You also don't have to beat them to get it back. You keep it. So if you've got a few saved over in like this area where you sort of can keep spare, well, they're called bones for this one. If you get the spare ones of those, you can actually spend it on an upgrade, and you won't lose it then if you die. So
that's very useful.
It's a lot more forgiving to people who haven't played a lot of Souls games and stuff like that. But aesthetically, it's great. It looks
Yeah.
amazing, and the soundtrack is so good.
Yeah, just going off what we saw in the trailers, I'm loving the soundtrack.
It's very sort of Castlevania esque.
Yeah, whereas that's been marked out for James Bond, I thought the music was a bit generic in that.
Yeah,
Whereas Mina's is a lot better.
yeah. In the James Bond one, they were clear they were trying to impersonate a James Bond film score.
Oh, I've just checked as well. Mina's soundtrack is fully online on Spotify. Just listen to.
I'm not surprised. Yacht Club games do like getting those ones out there, and it does. I'm quite glad that they're doing something that's not Shovel Knight related. Yes, because it's good for them to have this extra franchise that they can call back to, and from what I've heard, this sold quite well.
Yeah, especially this also released on every platform as well.
Yeah, I'm playing. For the record, I'm playing the Switch 2 version.
Yeah.
Runs great on that. Plays great. It feels like a game that's made for the Switch 2.
So from what I've seen, news from Eurogamer and Nintendo Life 3 days ago, it sold 500,000 copies so far.
Yeah, that's good for Yacht Club games. That's what they really need. That sort of sales figures.
Especially because they're more of an indie studio.
I always wondered at this. Up until I'd heard this, I'd always sort of thought, is Yacht Club Games really an indie studio? Because at this point, because they're doing their own direct, they're doing their own publishing of other indie games. At this point, it did feel like up until this point, they were starting to move into being part with the big boys.
Yeah, they also listed as independent video game developer because they're a private company. I don't think they're owned by anyone.
Yeah, no, it's a bit like Toys for Bob are now an indie company. More on them later.
Thank God for that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they got out at the right time.
Yep.
The thing, and as I will say, the combat is great. There's never a moment in it where I think I died because of something was unfair. It's challenging, but not unfair. Yeah. It always feels like, oh, I made a mistake here. I've got to try better on the next run.
Yeah.
I'd also say it's the save points are a little sporadic, but not incredibly. I do like they do give you quite enough save points. Also, if you want to quit on before you've got to the save point, it does have an auto save that keeps you on the screen you're at.
Now, does it actually work like James Bond, or is it broken?
No, it works way better than James Bond.
Okay, good.
It functions fantastically. I actually discovered it by accident, to be honest, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I quit the game at a certain point. I was like, no, I'll do it again later. And then I turned it on. And I was like, oh, I'm still on this screen. They do a really good job, though, replicating the Game Boy Color aesthetic, though, as well.
It looks so good.
It really does look great.
Yeah, because it's like Link's Awakening. The art style and the color scheme.
And actually, the plot line is actually, from what I've played so far, because I haven't beaten the game yet, but the plot line is actually kind of intriguing at this point. They actually, it's nothing groundbreaking, but it does do a pretty good job of making you sort of wonder what exactly is going on.
That's interesting, considering Shovel Knight had a pretty straightforward plot of beat the witch and free your friends.
Yeah, it's rather like Shovel Knight in that sense of it's kind of simple to begin with, and then it throws you a couple of loops towards as the game goes on.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good then. So it's more complex in the story structure.
A little bit more complex, but not incredibly.
Yeah.
It does also have some great side characters as well. There's some cool ones in it. Looking at you, kid, I had to accompany to his own coffin.
That does sound pretty dark, to be fair.
Yeah, no, there is some dark shit in this game. Okay, so I would say at this point in time, I'm hoping they do more with Mina at this point because it's a very good release, and I think it could be up there with Shovel Knight for strong. Like, it controls beautifully.
Yeah, I've not really heard that much negativity from it.
Yeah, no, there's a reason this is one of the highest rated games of the year so far on Metacritic. It really, And there's loads and loads of time in the game as well. Like you can spend tens of hours on the extra content, or if you don't want to just go straight from point to point.
Oh, that's interesting because James Bond was about 15 hours my first playthrough. So Mina's a lot longer than that.
Give me a second. I'll double check that.
Because I spent more time finding collectibles in Bond than actually going through that story the first time.
So I'm on howlongtobeat.com.
Yeah.
If it ever loads. So Mina the Hollower. So incidentally, First Light is one of the first ones that comes up on that one. It does tell you, again, First Light, you're looking at 15 and a half hours for the main story, 18
that's
and a half
what I
for
did.
extra, and 24 for completionist.
Yeah, that's roughly what I did.
So Mina the Hollower, it's not incredibly long, but it's still quite long. And Mina the Hollower is 17 and a half hours for the main story.
Yeah.
24 and a half for extra, and 31 hours if you're looking at completion.
Yeah, so a lot of content there, though.
Yeah, there is a lot of content there. There is a lot of good reasons to revisit areas. And it's not like a Metroidvania where you need certain abilities to go back to an area.
Oh, really?
To do it, or you need a certain... Sometimes you might need a certain sidearm to do certain things, but it is kind of up to you how you approach this.
Yeah.
Which is why I think I might have actually taken on one of the harder bosses early on than I should have.
So just your version of sequence breaking then?
Yeah, I think I did I might have done a bit of sequence breaking there. But I've beaten 3 of the main bosses in it, so I'm obviously doing all right. I honestly, I would be very, very surprised if I'm not saying this is my best indie game of the year. I just don't see what's going to come out and beat it.
Yeah, especially because we don't really that much more indies coming out this year.
There's a few more coming out, but not a huge amount.
Not as high profile. I mean,
yeah, I know, I agree. I suppose for Switch 2, there's that one, Orbitals.
Oh yeah,
which is kind of indie anime It Takes Two, but other than that, so let's move on to one you've been playing, Reese, Lego Batman.
Yeah, a game literally stuffed with content that I really enjoyed since off my review the other week. It's very much Lego Arkham style gameplay with all the different films smushed together to make a kind of story.
I just find it amazing what they pulled off with this one.
Yeah, like the world of Gotham is absolutely massive. It's fully traversable, no loading screens between islands. So if you played Arkham City or Knight, very similar open world structure with collectibles strewn about like Riddler puzzles, interactables, and side missions with villains. So that's very good. The main issue for me was trying to adapt every live action film at once. You got like Batman Begins, but it's a whole Nolan trilogy's in there. The Batman with Robert Pattinson, the Keaton duology's in there, the Val Kilmer, the George Clooney films are in there, and they kind of smushed together in a Frankenstein sense, but they only incorporate certain scenes from each film. So it's not really like a true narrative going through them all.
I agree, and I thought I did think at the time, how are you gonna? I thought it would be more episodic, that they would, rather than they just cram all these films together.
Yeah,
because those films are so different in so many different ways.
Yeah, the tone, the style, the type of villains who are in them. So I would say this game is good for the story if you've already seen each of these films. So like, if this is your first exposure to the films, you'll be very confused by the pacing.
Like, how many young kids, and I mean like young, sort of like 10 to 12-year-olds, for example, how many of them have seen the Keaton Batman movies?
Probably not that many. I think most kids these days have the Nolan and the Pattinson film as their exposure.
So that's the point. Like, there's so many parts of where they can do the Keaton Batman films where that's going to go over their heads.
Especially what they do with the Joker, since the Joker goes through all 3 major variants in this story. Like, we see him as the Jack Nicholson Joker, we see him as Heath Ledger's Joker, we briefly see him as Jared Leto's Joker. And there's no real natural progression for the character. He sort of shows up as one iteration, disappears off screen to come back later with a completely different personality and appearance, and then disappear again.
I'll be honest. I like Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah.
I've not been a fan of what has happened to the Joker post Heath Ledger.
Yeah, same. But going from the Nicholson Joker, where he's like playing Prince and destroying an art gallery, so all of a sudden Heath Ledger's Joker blowing up Gotham and vehicular manslaughter. Very different tonal whiplash between the two iterations.
I was going to say, because it's like even there's a bit of a tonal shift when you go from Heath Ledger to Jared Leto.
Yeah.
I mean, we never know because they cut half of Jared Leto's shit from those films.
Thankfully.
Yeah, no, seriously. Also, anyone, a side note on this one, anyone ever says that scene in the Snyder Cut between Joker and Batman is one of the best interactions they ever had, fucking do one.
Yeah, they just ride Snyder so hard they don't actually care about the characters.
I've heard people who say they're not even big Snyder fans who say that's what a great interaction. I was like, no, it isn't. On no level.
It's not.
Look, I've got major risk. Look, I'll say, all joking aside, Ben Affleck could have been a good Batman. The problem is he's never in a film where he gets the room to actually be a good Batman.
Since we went through the entire DCEU without a solo Batman film for him to sink his teeth into.
Yeah, and I really wish we'd actually had that film where he had his. Look, I liked the Batman that Matt Reeves directed, because Matt Reeves is a brilliant director. He did a great job with the Planet of the Apes series. He's doing a great job with this current Batman thing he's doing. But oh Jesus, what? And to go back to Lego Batman a second, it does function well. I'm kind of surprised it took us this long to say, let's do a Lego Arkham game, essentially.
Yeah, and it really came out of nowhere because it wasn't really advertised as an Arkham-style game until you play the game and find out Rocksteady's in the credits, because they helped out.
Yeah, Rocksteady.
And then it makes more sense.
Yeah, you can definitely tell Rocksteady had a hand in this one. I mean, how long has Rocksteady got, though? Because the Suicide Squad game failed miserably.
Yeah, sorry so bad. They had to try and fix it with his final update, saying, "Oh, it's okay. It wasn't really the Justice League. They were clones all along."
Oh god, that was so shite. It was like your idea. You sort of proved from the start that this idea for a story was shite.
Yeah,
and you have to go with the most shite cop out possible.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated that Suicide Squad game. I really hated it in every sense of the word. What do we think now? So I'd say, how would you rank this one in terms of like with other Lego Batman games? Is this the best Lego Batman game we've gotten, or were the other ones better?
So this is technically Lego Batman 4, because we had 3 Lego Batmans beforehand, and then we had the spin-offs like Lego DC Supervillains. I would say gameplay alone, this is probably the best. But I think the narratives of the other games were better because they had an original story they could flesh out more. Whereas the story does drag it down, being very truncated.
Yeah, and it does. I played a little bit of it, and I thought, this is kind of working for me gameplay-wise, and I'm really amazed they pulled off doing a Lego Arkham game. I'm interested, and I was like, I'm interested to see how they're going to mash these stories together. And obviously, I haven't got to the end of it, but you're obviously right saying, yeah, this has not worked because these films are so tonally different.
Yeah,
and they were done by
different. So they try to get around it by saying the time jumps between each of the films, but they don't really go together even that well at the end.
And also, these were directed by very different directors. Like Tim Burton is very different to Joel Schumacher, who's very different to Christopher Nolan, who's very different to Matt Reeves. Like these guys all approach Batman from different angles.
Yeah, like could you imagine Nolan putting nipples on his batsuit for Christian Bale, like Schumacher did?
No, and if
no.
Who did they get to? I can't remember. Who did they get to voice Batman in this?
I believe it's a new guy, because unfortunately Kevin Conroy did pass away.
Yeah, so
years ago.
Yeah, obviously isn't Kevin Conroy doing it. Because I was thinking for a second, is it? Because I thought for a second, were they going to get Will Arnett back? And then obviously that's not.
So let's see, The Dark Knight. It is. Shy Matheson.
Oh, but yeah, I've heard it. I think I've heard his name before.
So he, he does an uncredited civilian voice in Resident Evil Requiem.
Which is funny because I swear I've heard his voice somewhere.
He's additional voices in Until Dawn and Lego Horizon Adventures. His additional voices.
He's got a role in Weathering Waves, which at the minute is getting a lot of attention for its crossover with Cyberpunk. Oh, you're still
Yeah, he voiced Scar in that.
so this is kind of his first big role, really, if I'm looking at it. Because
Yeah, he's an uncredited voice in Alan Wake 2. So Elliot might be able to recognize his voice.
apparently he had a small role in a podcast about Torchwood.
Yeah.
He's a voice in Torchwood 1. Yeah, but the point is, he finally seems like he's got a big. Can you imagine doing all that and then suddenly, oh, by the way, you're going to be Batman in a Lego game?
Yeah, most of his roles are side characters. Like he was a side character in FF16 in one of the desert towns.
Yeah,
But
that's staggering to me that you'd move on to. It obviously must have done well in the audition.
yeah, it must know it because a lot of his other roles, not to sound mean, are quite lesser roles. They're not like mainstays, main characters.
Fair play to him. He's done well.
Yeah.
So, can you recommend Lego Batman at this point in time?
I can if you ignore most of the story, since it's very abridged versions of each film, and they cut out a lot of stuff in the context. So if you go into expecting Arkham style gameplay and fun without taking the story too seriously, yes, because there's a lot of unlockables. Like there's 100 different bat suits and costumes to get in the game. There's 30 different vehicles to get. If you approach it more from like a fun, light-hearted aspect, then yes. But if you wanted to experience the full stories, this isn't the game for you.
Okay, let's do the big Nintendo first party release that came out. Yoshi.
Oh, yeah.
Yoshi. I and the Mysterious Book. I picked this up. I played it for a bit and then I put it down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't really like this one. I'm gonna be frank. I'll be honest. I think Crafted World was a better game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I say that, but look, there's some good aspects to this game. It has a lot of replay value to get all the different aspects of all the different creatures you discover.
Yeah.
So there's that strong element to it. I think it was the dumbest idea they ever had was letting people name the creatures if they want to, because you're just going to get loads of swear word and slur ones done by immature idiots, and that's gonna...
It's all censorship for the what can enter.
No, there's really no. I'd put it this way: I did not test it out because I didn't want to get a ban from my NSO account, and I thought I don't know how much Nintendo is monitoring this, but I don't want to take my chances. So, also for the record, I also didn't do it out of good taste.
Good.
Thank you. But the point is, I wasn't willing to test how good are the sensors for this. I don't like. But the thing is, they're not go from point A to point B levels. They're actually kind of a bit. That's what I did not like about the game. The level structure. It's not go from point A to point B. It's very much do a certain load of tasks and you'll get to a finishing point somewhere.
Right, yeah.
I thought, this is really difficult for young kids. This thing. Like, I'm having trouble figuring out where I'm supposed to go and what I'm doing. Sometimes I had to look up a guide.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and also what I found funny is you can skip big portions of the game if you get a certain amount of achievements in an area. Like, you get that internal currency. I managed to get to unlock World 3 by the time I was done with the first level of World 2.
That does sound very broken.
Yeah, no, so it's kind of a bit broken itself. It controls fine. Like, it's a Yoshi's Island game, so it controls fine.
Yeah.
But it's like the levels aren't that Just I kind of feel like this game should have been a bit more linear with replay value for going back and getting the extra things about all the different book entries about all the different creatures.
Yeah.
Because like there's certain things you feel, and it does do a good job of giving you a hint about what you need to do to get the next one. It's like saying, well, I wonder what would happen if we did this or something like that, or I bet you they like this thing. So and sometimes you get extra entries on different levels. Like the first creature you unlock, I managed to get some extra. The first creature you name, I managed to get some extra book entries on it in later levels.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm not. So I don't mean to sound like there's not a lot of clever design here, but
yeah.
I just feel like Yoshi's Island. They struck gold. Nintendo struck gold when they made that game. And they've been constantly chasing it since.
Well, at least this was I was screaming Baby Mario in it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have that. But I feel like the only time they got close was Woolly World.
Yeah.
I feel like, why is that their only Wii U port that is still on Wii U? I would have thought that would have been one they would have brought over.
And also, as well, it's also a very short game on howlongtobeat.com. Main story is only 8.5 hours.
Yeah, and I say that's only 8 hours if you're really rushing it and know exactly what you're doing. Yeah. I'd say you're looking at more like 10 hours, really.
Yeah, because main and extra is 17. Completion is 44.5 hours.
So the content is there if you want to go completion on it.
Yeah. But it is, it's got more content than James Bond and Mina the Hollower if you go full completionist.
But that's the thing, I don't really feel like playing this thing for a full 40 hours. Because...
Yeah, because you got very burnt out, didn't you, on it?
I got really burnt out really quickly. And one of those things where it's just like, you know that there's not much inherently wrong with this, but it's not clicking with you?
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing I could put my finger on is I didn't like the level structure. That was the only thing I could put my finger on. Other than that, I was kind of like, why is this not clicking with me? Because it controls fine. It looks really good.
Yeah.
There's not really many frame rate drops. It looks and plays great in both handheld mode and in docked mode.
Yeah.
Why am I not enjoying? And I just felt like saying, why am I not enjoying this as much?
I'm going also back to Lego Batman. That was only 13 hours for the main story because it is short, but the completion is only 32 hours. So far, Yoshi has the most content out of all of these games we've talked about today.
And yet, it's probably the one I liked the least.
Yeah.
It's very much just their release. It feels like it was just there because Nintendo needed a game to come out in that time period, in that month.
Yeah, because when we were watching the so-called hype cycle, they didn't really focus on it that much, even though Yoshi's such a key Mario character.
Yeah, it just felt like they threw this game out there and just said, yeah, if this sells a bit, that's good. If it doesn't, well, we haven't lost much on it.
Yeah.
So I'd say, in terms of the fact there's a load of content there, you probably can recommend Yoshi, but personally, it just did not click with me.
Yeah, which is fair because every game clicks for everyone. Some people enjoy other stuff who other people don't.
Maybe if I spent a bit more time with this, it would work, but I thought I've never liked that argument, though, of if you stay a bit longer, it'll get good. And I was like, well, why do I have to trudge through something I don't like for it to get good later?
Yeah, it's those kind of people who play MMOs online and say, oh, once you get past the first 100 hours, it gets good. No,
I'm not willing to play that much for it to get good.
Yeah, it should be good from the get-go, or it's a bad game, or bad pacing.
So I think that's us really done for releases around this time period. So let's... because we obviously discussed... Oh, yeah, Pragmata. We've been discussing that one because on stream.
Yeah, that's been going good.
That's been going really good, and we've spent a lot more time with that, and we've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That game, the hacking system in that game is so much fun.
It is, but we have been having problems with our dyspraxia.
Yes, I have noticed that. Just Elliot yelling, "You're missing ones! You idiot!"
Yeah, so that's the issue we have, an able-bodied person like Elliot shouting it to people who have dyspraxia trying to play a Twitch gameplay shooter with very quick hacking mechanics.
Do you know what's
It does not go well.
Do you know what I found amazing though? My Diana amiibo has only just announced it's been shipping.
And it's been how long since you pre-ordered?
Ages ago. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So, I think it's time to move on though. Let's talk about not E3.
Yeah, probably the best not E3 in a long time.
I feel like the only things that were missing that could have been there was Ubisoft.
Yeah.
And even then they showed up in some regard.
Yeah. Well, especially because Ubisoft's going through a rough patch in a minute. They've laid off more people.
Well,
I shot 2 more studios.
Can I say it's not entirely on Ubisoft's issue why they're in financial issues?
Yeah.
They have to take some of the blame. I do have put some blame towards Monster Energy.
Oh yeah, because that lawsuit.
Of that lawsuit that has now sort of come out more in public. And I do feel like saying to Monster Energy, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, because definitely they're also trying to with Capcom as well.
They're trying it with Capcom. They're trying it with Pokemon Company. They're going to lose those cases. They probably Ubisoft. They probably would have won their case had it gone to court.
Yeah, so settling.
But they had to get what was going to be Gods and Monsters out that time. Yeah. They could not delay it for like several years. And they didn't.
Just look at since 5 years ago, Ubisoft's stock price has dropped 91%.
Oh God! Do we think
They are really struggling since COVID?
Do you think Ubisoft is going to go look for a buyer in the future?
And at this point, they've dropped like nearly 92% in 5 years. I think they might have to, because they've closed 2 studios recently. Fired off as like 300 members of staff, was it?
Yeah, I would put it this way. I feel like if there's a major buyer that's going to get them, I would hope it would not be Facebook or Amazon.
Yeah, so they fired nearly 400 staff members now.
See, part of me says I'd hope it would be Facebook or Amazon because it would at least mean that all those games would stay multi-plat.
Yeah,
and there wouldn't be But part of me also thinks I'd rather both of those companies not get those franchises and have that much of a foothold in the gaming industry. I kind of don't want them there. I would like it if someone like, say, I wouldn't mind if PlayStation made a go for them.
Yeah, they shut down Ubisoft Winnipeg, which helped on the Rainbow Six ports, and the other one's Ubisoft Belgrade, which works on Skull and Bones. That's also been shut.
I'm not surprised they shut down their Belgrade studio because Skull and Bones was an absolute disaster for them.
But Cal, it was the world's first quadruple A game. How could that fail? It had an extra A.
I am a pirate. I'm a guy who loves pirates and pirate history, and I didn't want to buy that game.
Yeah.
That says it all.
It really does.
That being said, I'm very excited for what Ubisoft has in the distance with the Rayman Legends retold and the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake.
Yeah, so they are listening to more fan feedback with Black Flag by cutting a lot of the modern day stuff and put some more content into the older pirate stories.
Good. No one likes the modern stuff in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, especially because it should have ended after 3. The modern stuff. Once that was wrapped up with what's his name dying, we did not need more modern stuff.
Yeah, there was nowhere for it to go. I think they pretty much cut it entirely after that one.
Yeah, but eventually they did. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when I played Shadows, that had nothing of the modern day stuff. Good. I don't want any of the modern day stuff.
Yeah, because I played Odyssey, I played Mirage, I played Origins. I don't think there was much modern day stuff then.
No, there really wasn't. I think the I think like my thought process is now, let's see what happens with Ubisoft. But I am gonna, but that is 2 releases that they have coming out, and one of those was in the state of play. The Rayman game was there,
and also another trailer for Assassin's Creed showed up as well.
Yeah,
it was just a minor trailer though, not long.
Nah, it wasn't.
Whereas Rayman had a much bigger focus.
Which I'm kind of glad about because I really want this to sell well.
Same.
Especially considering they're adding extra music levels to this one.
which was always the highlight of the original Origins game,
Yeah,
was the music levels.
I love the Black Betty level. That level was great.
Just iconic.
We know one of the songs they're adding is MC Hammer's "Can't Touch This."
Yeah, which is such a pop culture icon. You can't not have it.
Yeah, no. So that was one of the things. Look, I think we'll go these in order. So we'll start with the state of play. That one was quite a highlight for me. They had they really sold me on Wolverine.
Yeah, so which we saw more of later in Sony's one.
Yeah, so let's do Sony's one. So Wolverine was a big deal.
Yep. Oh, so you want to do Sony State of Play first?
Yeah, we'll do Sony because they went first. So we had Wolverine.
Exactly, Summer Game Fest itself went first, and then Sony went off the other day.
Oh, really? Okay, let's do Summer Game Fest then.
Yeah.
Because they started with Code Veronica remake.
Yeah.
That looks great. I'm dead excited for that.
It was also the worst kept secret in gaming.
Yes, yeah, that was.
Code Veronica.
Of course, there was going to be a Veronica remake.
Yeah.
I found it a bit weird they've done it after Resident Evil 4, since in the original timeline it took place before Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, I believe it took a few weeks after 2 and 3, isn't it?
Yeah, no, there's not a long gap after 2 and 3 before Veronica takes place. I'll be interested to see if there's many narrative changes this time, like we've had in some of these other ones.
Yeah.
So we got Veronica.
Yeah, so it was Code Veronica remake. Then it was the Cuphead one that got announced.
Yeah,
2 games for Cuphead.
Then the sort of Master System style Cuphead game, and there is a brand new game being made by the team.
Which they didn't show off. They only showed off the retro style one this time.
Yeah, that's fine. It's nice to know it's in development. That studio takes a really long time making their games.
Yeah, let's hope they don't get any more bad press like that one journalist who couldn't finish the tutorial. If you remember for the original Cuphead.
Other highlights of that thing was
we found more about Alien Isolation 2.
Oh, Alien Isolation 2, that was great.
So it's no longer on a space station. We're actually planet side for this one on a colony.
I think that's a cool idea. There's we did also find out about the new characters coming to Street Fighter 6.
Yep.
They're mostly new characters, but Tifa from Final Fantasy 7 is coming in for some reason.
Yeah, that's big one because everyone was expecting her for Tekken, not Street Fighter.
Yeah, that was bizarre. Especially considering Tekken can get away with bizarre shit. I'm not sure Street Fighter can get away with as big of bizarre shit.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think the other like bizarre Street Fighter ones, probably like when they did the crossover with like Mega Man and everything.
Yeah, but even then that was in the crossover game with Tekken.
Tekken, yeah. So that is more wacky. But Street Fighter, they usually have more realistic people. They're just with spirit powers. But they don't go wacky like Tekken does.
No, like Ingrid, for example, she's a bit of a multi-dimensional character who was a thing. And I suppose you could have done that with like Ruby Hart from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Not Ruby Hart, I remember Ruby from that one. She's proper. And I was really hoping she would be one of the characters that would make the cut, but she obviously hasn't done it yet. I mean, maybe there'll be a season 5.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, it's been popular, and they are still selling the DLC. It's selling well enough for these DLC fighters, so I think they will continue.
Yeah, it's going to be how long do they want to keep Street Fighter 6 going? Like they kept Street Fighter 5 going a long time.
And also with the new film coming out, I imagine we'll get some film skins for the characters.
Yeah, I would not be surprised about that. Stay tuned for a further podcast for our thoughts on that one.
Oh yeah, definitely look forward to that.
There's another. What else is coming out?
We also saw Gen Atlas from the very Shadow of the Colossus group.
That one did not impress me that much, if I'm honest.
Oh really? How come?
I just feel like I like that these games are being made, but I thought we didn't. I don't know what I'm excited about if I looked at that trailer.
Yeah, it has more FPS elements with you shooting these random things, creatures attack you. I'm just excited for the giant mechs.
Yeah,
to be fair,
that'll be cool. There was also a few other things in Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, we saw Blood Message.
Looks alright.
That Chinese developed one. We got the announcement for the new TMNT game based on the last Ronin comic.
Yeah.
We didn't see any gameplay.
Yeah, that was bizarre to me because that got announced ages ago, and we still haven't seen gameplay. Or did they put I can't remember. Did they put a release date window on that thing, or are they just saying, yeah, it's still in development?
Let's have a double check. No confirmed date.
That to me just felt like saying a reminder to investors. Oh, by the way, this game's still in development.
Yeah, it's just so that Paramount is still doing it. That's about it. Yeah.
I'm not interested, to be honest. Like, show me something more concrete, and then I'll be interested in the Ronin game.
Yeah, because apparently it's a really good comic. It's based off, but if the only thing you have is a CGI trailer and a still image, I'm not excited for that.
Yeah, like this could have waited. They could have waited on
Yeah.
this one. Any before we get to we've obviously got the big one to talk about, but anything to discuss?
We saw more about Control Resonance that Ali's excited for.
Yeah, Control Resonance that already had shown up in the state of play by that point, but it was cool to see more of it.
We saw Guild Wars 3, the world premiere trailer. So that's eventually coming back. Guild Wars. That was a massive MMO back in the day when I was at high school.
Yeah, Ren will be happy with that. He liked Guild Wars.
We got a story trailer for Star Wars Galactic Racer, which is a new pod racer game, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, that one was pretty cool. The pod racer,
especially bringing back Sebulba as well.
Yeah.
A very random one we had was Virtua Fighter coming back.
Yeah, that was a surprise to me. It's like of all the, I know Sega's bringing back a bunch of its old franchises,
Yeah.
but I never thought Virtua Fighter would be the one they'd want to bring back.
Especially because it wasn't that much of a fighting game as well, platform based with the characters running across rooftops and everything, and doing parkour.
I'm not interested to see what they'll do with that.
Apart from that, another Star Wars trailer for Zero Company again, which we have seen previously.
Yeah,
just showing more customizable characters for that.
Oh god, there is too much Star Wars stuff.
No, there's too much bad Star Wars stuff. If it's good, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Other stuff, there's a new game covering the Among Us team.
Yeah, and they shadow dropped the Among Us TV series out of nowhere.
Which I haven't watched yet. Have you?
It's on Paramount Plus. That's why no one's watched it.
So I can't watch it.
No, I'm gonna check it out at some point because I do have a subscription to Paramount Plus. But
I think you're the only one of us in our group who does.
Yeah, I mainly got it to watch the Knuckles TV series.
Of course, we got a new Saw game randomly announced.
I think that's because of success of things like Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th game that you can make these games work. I'll be interested to see what a new Saw game is going to be like.
Especially because we've not had a new Saw film for a very long time now.
No, and the last one was actually quite good.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I actually quite like the last Saw movie.
Other stuff, a game that I know Ali will be interested in, Blood of the Dawnwalker, the vampire one.
Yeah, that one looks alright. I think we have to get to. I think we have to get to the big one though.
Yeah, that's it for the major announcements. Oh, there's that new side project for Stellar Blade with that new character.
Yeah, that one caused a bit of a fire on Twitter.
It did, and yeah, that's it for the major announcements. I believe at Summer Games Fest itself.
I mean, I'm glad that the team's getting another game, but I'm a bit iffy on some aspects of the new Stellar Blade.
Yeah,
I'll be interested to see what happens as time moves on.
Yeah,
we got so the big one to talk about though was the closing trailer, which was Final Fantasy VII Part 3 is coming out next spring. It's called Final Fantasy VII Resonance. No, not Resonance. That's the other one they made. It's
Revelation, is it, or is that the other one?
Hang on a second.
7 Part 3. Yeah, it's a Revelation.
Revelation, and I'm dead excited to play this.
Yeah, since we finally see the weapons showing up now after Part 2, where they got very heavily teased at the end.
Yeah, I loved Final Fantasy VII Remake. I loved Rebirth even more.
Yeah,
especially
because Rebirth is changing the story more, so it'll be interesting to see what more changes they make.
I did disagree on that one. I think they're giving the illusion they're changing more, rather than the actual changes. Like you really look at it and you think the story structure's not that different from the original Final Fantasy VII, which makes me wonder. Which makes you wonder, with all this fanficky stuff they're putting in around well, the genie's out of the bottle now, so I can say it. Zach.
Yeah, Zach's the major thing's changed.
Yeah, I feel like saying with all that fanfic, why are we bothering having that fanficky stuff in, considering it's really not impacting the main story all that much? And it feels like we're heading to, this is just going to be the end of, there's just going to be Final Fantasy VII as we knew it. At that point, it's just like, why not just not have that stuff in and just be a complete remake of Final Fantasy VII? Because that's when the game's at its best, when it's remaking Final Fantasy VII.
It makes me wonder if they did all this extra stuff to pad this out, so it's 3 games worth rather than 2 games.
I think there might be something in that. I mean, I'm looking forward, because we didn't get to play as Sid or Vincent in the last one.
No.
I'm looking forward to seeing how they play this time.
Yeah, especially because Vincent literally only shows up at the very end of part 2 and also in the card game bit. Apart from that, he doesn't do anything.
Yeah. What was the point of hiring Matt Mercer for this? You hire one of the most you hire a great voice actor, one of the most recognizable voice actors, who's been gunning for this role for ages.
Yeah.
And we don't even get to play as him.
Oh, speaking of voice actors, they've changed the voice actor for Sephiroth again.
Yeah. There's some weird decision they've changed voice actors.
Yeah, so it's now the 3rd one because they've changed every different one. So now it's Robin Atkin Downs voicing Sephiroth, also known as Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes is voicing him.
Okay, that's a decent choice.
Because he has got a lot of experience in video game voiceovers. Because the second one, it was that guy who played Superman recently in the Superman and Lois TV show.
Oh, yes. Was I'm assuming you mean My Adventures with Superman.
No, the live-action Superman and Lois.
Oh, God, that cunt who's now joined ICE.
No, that's David Kane. That was back in the 90s with Terry Hatcher.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah,
so
I know the one you're on
this
about.
is the previous live-action one before James Gunn rebooted the universe.
Right, yes, I know the one you're on about. Yeah, no, that's a good... he actually is quite a decent actor.
Yeah. Tyler Hoechlin. My apologies for that surname.
Yeah, no, I don't mind that they've... Honestly, I can never really tell the difference because everyone's instructed to play Sephiroth the exact same fucking way.
Even back in Kingdom Hearts, I had a member of NSYNC doing it, and no one could tell.
Oh, that was bizarre as hell. Like, the first person to voice this iconic character, let's get one of the guys from NSYNC.
And again, he did a good job, because you can't really mess up Sephiroth that badly if you know what you're doing.
Yeah. So, what are your hype levels for Final Fantasy VII Revelations?
Yeah, I'm relatively excited because the big aspect for me is the weapons coming back. I'm really looking forward to seeing them.
Honestly, it's the narrative for me that's really going to do it, because I want to know if they can get the ending right in this thing. I'm going to say it was all worth it. But yeah. I am really worried about the fanficky elements that they're adding to it, because it feels like I've said it's about Rebirth. It felt like they were taking away more than they were adding.
Yeah, and I'm also surprised it took this long to get to Wuhan with Yuffie, because that was in the trailer, which we didn't visit in part 2.
Yeah, it was like it feels like some of the things they missed in part 2 they're adding back in part 3.
Yeah, so that makes me a bit worried about pacing. If they're just going to cram everything together, not spend enough time.
But again, if they were adapting that disc, there wasn't a lot in the final disc of 7.
Yeah.
So let's discuss Sony State of Play then. Oh, actually, before we do that, how would you mark the Summer Games Fest?
I say by itself a solid B. I was very impressed this year around, because there's no High Guard, no Concord. We just had good games.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to say B+. It starts out really good, kind of dips off in the middle, and there was a few things that had no place being announced at this because they were well too early in development. But overall, actually decent. I like that.
Yeah.
Next up, Sony State of Play. So we had an extended look at Wolverine.
Which both me and you love watching it, because we were talking in our Twitter group.
And good reveal of Jean Grey coming in.
Yeah, and a lot more minor characters, because I was excited to see Leech in the trailer the green skin alien boy looking guy.
A weird leech of all characters. I mean, I'm glad they put Mystique in, considering how important she is to Wolverine's backstory.
Yeah.
I'll be interested if this is finally an X-Men something that adds Destiny into the game.
Yes, and she was not used in the entirety of Fox's X-Men universe.
And when you find out how important she is to Mystique's character, it's kind of like, why have we never seen her?
Yeah, well, not just her character, her children. Yeah. Like Nightcrawler and Rogue. Destiny's very important for Rogue's backstory.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And also, Destiny is not in... I don't think she's in any of the X-Men animated series either.
I don't think so. No, I can't remember being in them.
I'll obviously be interested because it obviously there is a few other characters. Like we know Sabretooth was going to be in this thing. We knew from the start we'd see Sabretooth.
Yeah, we see him. We see some of Omega Red's tentacles, so we know he's in as well.
Obviously, we have to get...
Yeah, so other characters we see in that mutant truck run up is Toad. Toad, especially in the game.
Oh god, the character who's only ever been interesting in X-Men Evolution.
Yeah, and that one infamous line in the original live-action film of Halle Berry. Do you know what happens to Toads when they're struck by lightning? The same as everything else.
Do you reckon that someone didn't say the script writing process? Can we rewrite this one? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Especially because, do you know who they got to play Toad in that live-action film?
Oh, I can't remember who it is now.
It's Ray Park, the guy who plays Darth Maul.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's him.
So you've got an amazing martial artist for a character who does not do martial arts.
What's the point of that? Like, he makes it with Darth Maul in episode 1.
Literally, yeah. And so it's a talented guy who now for this film goes around spitting gunk at people and has a long tongue. And that's it.
Side note, why did Peter Serafinowicz never come back as Darth Maul? I mean, I've liked a lot of the actors they've got back to replace him, but I've always
Ray Park came back to do his body in Solo, but otherwise it's been Sam Witwer voicing him since.
And Sam Witwer has been great on the role. I've just always wondered why Serafinowicz was never called back.
Yeah, especially because he does do a good performance for those like 3 lines he has.
Yeah. Let's other games to talk about in the state of play. Obviously, Control was there and Rayman.
Yeah, so it's all of that for our
I'm looking forward to Rayman. I've already said that one.
We got more of Ace Combat 8, which looks really good.
Oh yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
That Stuntman game from the PS2 is making a comeback with all the sort of Fortnite for cars.
Yeah, like me and you could not believe talking about that. That Stuntman came about that. Elliot had no idea about that franchise.
Yeah, of all the things for Sony to bring back, there were...
we saw that spin-off with Banjo the Chef from Dave the Diver. Let's get that spin-off.
That was a weird decision for me because they up until a couple of days ago, at that point in time, we hadn't had the confirmation about when the Dave the Diver DLC was coming out. It has now been announced. It's out next Friday, the 18th for... it's out next week. The 18th for anyone who's watching this past me done editing it.
Yeah. We have that Jurassic Park ripoff with the Lost Wilds.
Oh, yes, the Lost Wilds. And I thought for ages that was a Dino Crisis game.
Yeah, but whereas I thought it was going to Jurassic Park. Because there have been rumours of a Jurassic Park horror game in development, and I thought this was going to be it.
Yeah. Just for the record, if you're listening to the background, Reese's dog has recovered quite well.
Yeah, but unfortunately he's barking. He's not in the room. If I bring him in, he'll bark even more. So if you want, I can grab him and try to subdue him and see if he calms down.
No, I'll be fine. We call this professionally unprofessional for a reason. Because
unfortunately I am home alone looking after him at the minute, so he's not very happy being by himself.
I love him I prefer him being lively than him being ill.
Yeah, so especially after the week I've had with him.
Yeah, so let's talk about the 2 big announcements from the State of Play. I think.
Oh yeah.
Until Dawn 2 got revealed.
which I was very surprised at because I was not expecting that to be Until Dawn 2 until the title dropped.
I was looking at it thinking, this is very Until Dawn, but what is this going to be? And then it said Until Dawn 2. I was like, Jesus! Sony's keeping up their... Obviously, something's gone well with like the sales of either that movie or the remake game, because they've obviously wanted to get it back on the run and it's out next year as well.
Yeah, because it has been a while since the original Until Dawn was a PS3 game.
Yeah, we got a few more of the villains coming into Marvel Token Souls.
Yep, we've got Green Goblin and Carnage with the two major focuses in that trailer.
And of course, the final trailer of State of Play was the Santa Monica games. They're working on God of War Lao Fei, a spin-off title that will say what happened after Lao Fei's death and cremation at the beginning of the first game.
And that has divided the internet, unfortunately.
Oh God, I was going to try and keep this out, but now we've opened that box. Yeah, I genuinely...
It's impossible to avoid it at this point. The internet's on fire. With idiots who never played the game being pissed off.
Do you know what? Genuinely, I actually said, I'm not making this up now, I genuinely said afterwards, well, at least that feels like a trailer no one's going to complain about.
Oh, you poor, naive little man.
Because I just thought, well, everyone loves God of War. That's going to go down really well. And it's like, oh, for God's sake. Why is women existing a problem for you?
Yep. And it's so bad because all these are just grifters anyway. Like, one of the main people shouting the game down was Asmongold, who admitted on camera he's only ever played the original game and Dad of War. He's not played any other ones, but all of a sudden, he's at the figurehead saying, this shouldn't be God of War, it's not God of War. And yet, these other grifters haven't even played most of the franchise, and they're complaining.
Can I point out as well, it feels a bit weird that he didn't get the point of that Dad of War and Ragnarok are both a massive dressing down of toxic masculinity.
Yep.
That's the main theme of it, is the fact that the most of the shit that happens in that game is because there's a group of men who can't admit that they've got real issues and they need to do something about it.
Yeah, because I saw Kratos wanted to change for both himself and his son, because at the end of the Greek trilogy, he nukes Greece by killing those gods with all the natural disasters that leads to. So he wants to change and be a better person.
It's the phenomenal line I love in Ragnarok is, for the sake of our children, we must be better.
Yeah. And yeah, all these idiots never played these two games. They still think Kratos is the same testosterone and rage-driven man from the original trilogy, when he's just not.
He's not. He's a change. I will say Elliot made a very good point about this when we had a conversation with him, which is we all thought the natural progression was we were going to do Atreus next.
Especially considering how Ragnarok ends with him going off with Angrboda. I thought he would be the next focus.
Who in the mythology is his wife.
Yeah.
But I also like the fact they actually, this one actually acknowledged that Faye is in Norse mythology Lao Fei, and obviously that means Kratos is, I can't remember his name now. It's the one who is actually Loki's father, who is, his name means vicious striker. So it was like, okay, now this makes sense. Now Kratos, this is how we merge Kratos in from the Greek mythology into the Norse mythology.
Yeah, so forgive my pronunciation, is Farbauti.
Farbauti, that's how I've heard it pronounced.
Yeah, he's husband of Laufey and father of Loki.
Yeah, no, so, and I will say, the fact we saw extended gameplay gave me a lot of real excitement for this game, because it looks like it plays fantastic.
Yeah, they brought back aerial combat from the original trilogy, and Laufey can jump. Kratos has not been able to jump in the Norse trilogy duology.
It's one of those where you watch that trailer, and I agree with this one Twitter post that the takeoff of this game should have been, right, I can see why Kratos married her.
Yeah, which is true to the lore, because Kratos even says that she nearly killed him in a fight. And we see in Ragnarok, she went toe-to-toe with Thor. Because the whole thing about the Norse saga is that the Leviathan axe was made for Laufey, not Kratos.
Yeah.
It's her axe that Kratos uses.
She's kicking ass with a sword this time. I mean that.
Yeah.
It's cool. And of course, she's made friends with a cube called Frank.
Who voiced by Jack Quaid from The Boys and My Adventures of Superman, as we discussed earlier.
Yeah, Jack. Yeah, I was about to say, of all the characters to get for this, let's got Jack Quaid in to voice a cube.
And not just that, he mocaps it as well, because they've released the footage. So they got him in, that suit with all the balls on him. He's got like a cage around him, so he can mocap as the cube.
It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, how did he do any of the lines with a straight face?
Yeah. But I'm seriously looking forward to it. It looks so good.
Look, more God of War. I'm just hooked that into my veins. I've loved the recent God of War trilogy, duology that we had last time.
And also because the villains in this game are also gods of war, so it's not a lie.
I'll be honest, I was a bit surprised. Yeah, I'm interested to see how they're going to merge, so I have this like afterlife for the gods, and then merge all these different mythologies into one area.
Because so far, both of the two major villains have also been gods of war, their respective religions, like Egyptian and Mongolian / Tibetan Buddhism. But, so it makes you wonder, we could see other gods of war, like if Ares comes back from the Greek trilogy.
Yeah, like that would be interesting. Like, how would they get the same voice actor back as Ares, or would we go down a different route, or will we get like the we're going to confirm the Egyptian god of war?
Yeah.
Would we get like the Japanese god of war?
Yeah.
Or there's other mythologies. Would they work in the mythologies of some of the indigenous populations from around the world? They have some fantastic mythology surrounding their religions.
Especially because, as we saw in the Valhalla DLC with Tyr, we see him use weapons from these different native populations around the world, like Aztecs with that giant wooden sword with the obsidian teeth in it.
And
we see him use that.
And there's some amazing stories around the religion of the Native Americans. I'd love to see what they implement some of that into the game.
So this could be a great melting pot for all these different religions to come together.
I'd be very interested to see what how that's going to play out. I'd be honest. When I saw the Santa Monica logo, I didn't think it was a new God of War or a spin-off. I thought it was going to be the new franchise Corey Balrog's working on.
Or I was expecting more information on that trilogy, the Greek trilogy remake they announced.
I wasn't expecting that because that got announced in February, and I thought that was in so early development. There's no chance we're seeing more of that. Okay, let's move.
Oh, just before we move on as well, Santa Monica also confirmed they are still making Kratos games in the future. So all those man babies saying Laufey's replace Kratos, she hasn't. This is a spin-off game.
Of course they were making more Kratos games. Kratos is one of the most marketable characters at PlayStation. They are never killing him off.
Well, they kill him off, but they keep bringing him back because he refuses to die.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If they ever do decide to permanently kill him, clip this for poorly aged things, but I'm telling you now, Kratos is never dying as long as PlayStation wants to sell consoles.
Because Kratos was even in PlayStation's All-Stars.
Yeah.
He's that popular.
And fights Sweet Tooth.
Oh, he was also in Shovel Knight as well.
Oh, yeah. And
as well, the post-launch exclusive ones.
Oh, and Mortal Kombat.
Yep, true. He went toe-to-toe with Freddy Krueger in 9.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool.
So he's a popular character. He will never be killed off permanently.
How would you grade the state of play?
There was some good stuff there. More Wolverine, so I drove for 15 minutes. I gave that a B+ from me.
B+, and that's also for the Silent Hill game getting a release date in it.
Yeah, which is funny because it does all like Silent Hill. It just looks like a traditional British town. Yeah. With the same horrors.
I've got to say, I've been to the Shetland Isles. There's a bunch of areas like that look just like this. This is not I'll tell you right now, I genuinely wandered out of my house one morning in incredibly thick fog. Yeah. And I just get the shock of my life because I hadn't looked out the window that day. And I thought, am I in Silent Hill now?
Yeah, because it turns out Wicker Man isn't a film, it's a documentary.
So, I'd say the thing that holds it down from an A for me is the fact there was a few too many horror games in there.
Yeah, both me and you talked about that. Like, they had Ill. That was another horror game in that with a giant baby in it.
Yeah, that one didn't impress me all that much.
Yeah, like graphically it's good, but yeah, you're right. There were too many horror games.
You need a variety in these things.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
Xbox Showcase, they did really good with this one. They kept off with Gears of War E-Day and made that look really good.
Yeah, so it was very good, but a lot of problems I had was this and Clockwork Revolution are full console exclusives. They're not timed exclusives.
I'm not sure if they're going to stick to that or not. I'm hoping they stick to it, but I'm not sure because Xbox needs something to stay in the market and sell those consoles.
Yeah, it just does hurt being fully exclusive, not just timed. Because I really like the look of Clockwork Revolution, but because I'm a PS5 owner and a Switch owner, I physically cannot play it.
I'm hoping that they decide down the line, you know what, Clockwork Revolution did quite well. Let's get a few more sales, put it on PlayStation. But at the same
Yeah,
time, we don't want an environment where Xbox completely leaves the console market.
yeah. So that's my point: is have not full exclusivity, have time exclusivity for like a year or two.
Do you reckon? Yeah, I would imagine in 2 years that we'll see
Yeah,
Clockwork Revolution come to PlayStation.
yeah,
With Gears of War E-Day, I'm a bit weirded out with that one because I kind of think, why did you pop? Why did you decide to put those Gears of War collection on PlayStation
yeah.
if you have no intention of putting this one on there? I thought the whole point was to get people hyped for E-Day.
Yeah, especially because this is the origin, hence Emergence Day.
Yeah.
But we, as playing on PS5, we can't see this massive prequel that kickstarted the franchise from a lore perspective.
Um. And of course, Fable announced its. We saw a bit more of Fable,
Yeah, that's why I said they're keeping the classic British humour.
and it's going to come out now in February.
Yeah, after a slight delay,
Yeah,
which I think is fine.
they claimed that the delay was to do for polishing purposes. I'm not entirely sure I believe them. I think this probably was delayed because of Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah, because as we discussed, almost everything announced at this whole not E3 has avoided November like the plague.
Yeah, most of the release dates are September or October or spring next year.
Yeah,
Or, sometimes early next year, like Fable is February. I think that's enough time to get people wanting to play something new after Grand Theft Auto.
yeah,
Especially considering of Xbox's audience. I reckon there's a large portion of the Xbox audience that will buy Grand Theft Auto 6 for their Xbox.
yeah, definitely.
There's Gears. So we saw Gears, we saw Fable. There was a few. It kind of took a bit of a dip at that point.
Yeah, that's why I know. They started going to more multi-plat stuff, but the multi-plat stuff wasn't that interesting.
Um, they did say I think Fable is a timed console exclusive. It will come to PlayStation.
Yeah, the only exclusives I remember were Gears of War and Clockwork Revolution. Everything else, I believe, was a timed exclusive,
I like
at least.
Clockwork Revolution does look interesting though.
Yeah, same. I really like it, especially because they've gone into more of the time travel mechanics, which wasn't that big of a focus in the original trailer.
Yeah, no, I'm seriously interested to see what these guys are going to do. What we're going to get from this studio. We're next. I think the other big ones though. So they went a bit of a dip, but then it really picked up
Yeah,
because we had the best announcement all weekend for me. Crazy Taxi coming back with Crazy Taxi World Tour.
yeah, I can definitely say I was not expecting that.
I had seen that the Crazy Taxi Twitter account was teasing an announcement, but I thought, is this the right time for it? And then they
Yeah,
said not only did they show it, I thought, okay, this is probably a teaser trailer. And then they cut to gameplay, and I was like, holy shit, this thing's along a lot further than I thought.
and also now being quote unquote world tour, we are getting more locations.
Yeah, I did see a bit of gameplay of. They released some gameplay from the original map,
Yeah,
the sort of San Francisco-esque one where you're taking around a delivery driver. You're basically doing Uber Eats,
yeah,
and it looks fantastic. It plays so well from the looks of
yeah.
things.
Because it's been so long since the last one.
The one thing I'm hoping they'll add to the game, which there hasn't been in Crazy Taxi other than the PSP entry, a multiplayer.
Yeah, because it does definitely seem like a multiplayer game could be done. Because being a world tour as well, you can have different locations with people playing together or against each other on different maps.
I like the idea though of like 7 or 8 people all competing to see who can make the most money in a time limit.
Yeah,
Because like the Simpsons Hit and Run did that, and it was actually a decent multiplayer.
yeah, it's what everyone loves so much.
So yeah, I'm dead excited for Taxi. We got Persona 4.
So just on Great Sassy, the last mainline game was in 2007 for the PSP. Everything else was a phone game between then.
Jesus. Do you know what I found
Yeah, so
amazing?
it's a very ancient franchise.
This happened on the last day of the Turin Special Championships for Pokemon. And I actually posted the Pokemon group chat that we were in at the time. By the way, new Crazy Taxi, and everyone was like, "No, okay, do me another one." I was like, "No, seriously, guys, there is a new Crazy Taxi." And they went and
Yeah,
looked on Twitter, and he said, "Oh God, he's not shitting him. He's not shitting us. There's a new Crazy Taxi."
yeah, just drops out of nowhere.
Well, we did know they were working on something because it was in that Game Awards trailer, but I'm
Yeah,
so glad that we're getting to see it. It's like the last one I haven't seen from that I really want to see is Jet Set Radio.
yes, because we had that spiritual successor, which was the same style but different team, and I really want that to come back
Yeah,
as a
no,
franchise.
I didn't really like that one. I'll be honest.
Yeah, because you streamed a bit of it, didn't you?
And it was such a disaster of a stream.
Yeah,
But so let's so yeah, great. So we saw a Persona 4 the Persona 4 remake that's coming out in February.
yeah, which we knew about ages ago because I believe it was in a leak that went big.
Yeah, and then they had to do a teaser trailer for it last year to sort of catch up with the leak. And then
Yeah,
they've now finalized it. It looks amazing. I'm looking forward
yeah,
to playing it. And also from Atlas, we got a teaser for Persona 6.
yeah, which didn't tell us much except it's green and there's a graveyard.
And that the main protagonist has a bowl cut.
I did not know we seen the main protagonist.
Yeah, no, Cameron spotted it in the trailer I spoke with him on when
Uh,
I did it. Apparently, some people spotted that the protagonist was teased in it and has a bowl cut. Honestly, everyone's complaining about that, but eventually they're gonna love him.
yeah, it's always the way. People are talking about protagonists instead of seeing more emotion.
I'm looking for. I'm hoping this time they actually give the option to choose which gender the protagonist is.
Yeah, because that's not been an option for a long time to choose it.
Only in the Persona 3 Portable.
Yeah,
I think no, it was one of the versions. It wasn't Portable. It was one of the versions of Persona 3 did offer you the option. I thought they would bring that back in the remake, but they didn't.
yeah,
But I mean, obviously that Persona 3 remake did numbers considering they've gone and done this. But I mean, the only reason we found out about this well ahead of time is because some of the voice actors let slip. Oh yeah, we're not in the remake.
yeah, which was so funny.
The okay, well, let's also discuss a few. Castlevania got its release date. Belmont's Curse.
That looks so good.
I'm so hyped for Castlevania.
Yeah, especially because they've gone off the Laws of Fallen style and catching back up with Bloodstains, that classic 2D art style.
Yeah, I'm looking for it's going to be interesting that this will come out in the same year as that. Hopefully, as the same year as that Bloodstained game because I haven't seen anything about when that Bloodstained game is coming out.
Yeah.
But to see both of those games come out and hopefully both of those games come out in the same year, I'm gonna really do an interesting comparison piece about both of those. I want to know. The next one to really discuss, I'd say though, is the Toys for Bob unveiled that they're working on Spyro 4.
Yep, they've finally been free from the Call of Duty mines.
And what a great use of their time. Like I wish.
Oh, yeah.
And it's time for it to happen now. I wish we would have got that Crash and Spyro crossover they were working on.
Yeah, for Crash 5. It makes me wonder if this is successful, if they will go back and do that crossover.
I think they've got to pitch that to the people at Microsoft and say, look, we did this. It was successful. We've done Crash 4. it was successful.
Yeah.
We've done most of the work for Crash 5, and we'll have the crossover with Spyro. Please just let us do this.
Yeah, because this is the first new Spyro game since 2008 when we had Dawn of the Dragon.
Yeah, this is it's amazing to see it come back as well.
Because it's been like 5 years since Reignited came out back on the PS4.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see we saw what Toys for Bob were capable of when they were given the right to make their own Crash game.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting
because out of Vicarious Visions did the Insane Trilogy.
It'll be interesting to see what they'll do when they get the chance to make their own Spyro game.
Yeah, and also interesting to see where the story goes, considering are they going to carry on from the Reignited trilogy with Spyro 3's ending, or are they going to include like Enter the Dragonfly and Hero's Tale?
Yeah, I'll be interested. I think to avoid complication, they're going to just retcon it and just go with the Reignited trilogy.
Yeah, that's what I think as well.
And it looks great from what we saw of it. We won't have to wait long. They said, I think it's spring 2027, they said, was the release date for it.
Yeah, the only gameplay we saw was Spyro's character model and a bit of the free flying mechanics from Dawn of the Dragon. They're bringing that back.
Yeah, I'm glad they're bringing that back, though. It looks so good.
But it does make me wonder how open these levels are going to be to accommodate it, considering the Reignited trilogy had limited how much Spyro could fly, apart from the speedways.
I'll be interested to talk to some people about this, because I reckon, based on what we saw and the fact it's coming out so soon,
yeah,
I think that they were working on this before they went independently, and then they asked for their independency, but said, "Can we still work on this in a partnership with you?" Because I thought it would be so long till we saw whatever Toys for Bob were working on.
Yeah.
But no, I'm so happy to see Spyro's coming back. I'm so looking forward to playing it.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest announcements, because I was not expecting it at all.
I had a slight belief it might happen, because it was in the headline for Nate the Hate's last episode.
Yeah.
But even then I was a bit surprised. I think there's one more to talk about then.
Well, there's one more for me to talk about that I'm looking forward to, is Doom the Dark Ages DLC got announced.
Yeah, because Doom the Dark Ages DLC. What do you think of that?
That looks really good. So we're finally filling in the gaps between Dark Ages and 2016.
The thing is,
since we now know who makes Doomguy's new suit, because that was in the trailer. And we're also getting some more of his memories from the classic games. From id Software's like a Wolfenstein engine, like Doom 1 and 2. Because what we see from that first-person perspective, with that like linear corridor, one of those classic levels. So they're going back into his memories as well.
That's good.
So I think since a lot of people didn't realise, Doom guy from 2016 was that same original Doom guy from like Doom 1 and 2.
So, okay, let me... So we've already discussed a bit of Clockwork Revolution. We think it looks cool. I think the big mistake was ending this thing on Call of Duty again.
Oh, I was so bored.
So I just was like, right, I've seen everything I need to see. I'm not interested in this trailer. I'm not interested in Call of Duty. Off.
Yeah, but it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. It's now in Korea, and I was just bored watching it. It's the same gameplay every year.
I'm not interested in Call of Duty anymore. I'm done. Like if
I'm it's just so dull. Like we're on Black Ops 7. We're on the second Modern Warfare 4.
I know these things still sell quite well, but I feel like this shouldn't be the opening trailer, the closing trailer. It really feels like they don't understand the audience that are going to watch this show aren't the audience that are buying Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That audience already exists. They just buy Call of Duty. They don't really buy much else. They're not interested in anything else in this.
Yeah, it's the same guys. They buy Call of Duty, they buy FIFA, or what used to be known as FIFA, and they buy the 2K games.
It's like, that's it. And it's like, why would... They're not going to stick around for this, and I'm doubtful they'll buy much of anything else from this.
Literally, yeah.
So, I will say as well, though, the fact that they lower... I will say, this presentation, the fact they lowered the price of Game Pass again, not back to where it was, that they're going... There's some exclusivity coming back to Xbox.
Yeah.
And all that... This presentation to me really felt like Xbox is starting to get back some of their reputation. They've not recovered, and I'm not sure they ever will fully recover, but it does feel like they're trying to put their best step forwards.
Yeah.
I'd give it a B. Like, it's teed off in the middle a little bit, but when the announcements were good, they were really good.
I personally go lower. I say C plus because there wasn't that much that appealed to me. And having fully console exclusives for Gears and Clockwork Revolution rather than timed exclusives, I believe hurts the potential.
Okay, so we got those ones out of the way. Next, the final one to talk about is Nintendo. They had a direct not that long off from when we recorded this. We record this like 3 days after that direct.
Yeah.
So it's very fresh in our minds. I think the weird decision was opening with Rhythm Heaven Groove.
Yeah, I don't know how much that franchise sells. It's weird to me to open with it.
Yeah, like I feel like they obviously didn't show off too much of Star Fox because they'd already done a full direct for that. But they did this felt more like there was a more focus on third party.
Yeah, it's third parties and a lot of ports in this direct.
Yeah, so like there was like some really good ports, so like Lies of P coming is great, Stellar Blade coming is great.
Yeah, so I'm going through a list. We've got Onimusha's coming, Dragon Dogma 2, Dark Arisen DLC's coming, Stellar Blade, Rayman Legends Retold, that's coming. Big Walk is coming.
The good thing about the two of those was that two of those are going to launch on the same day as the other console. Like Onimusha's coming the same day as the consoles. Other consoles. We also have to know that Rayman's coming the same day as the other consoles.
Yeah, other ports again. Lords of the Fallen 2 is also coming. Lies of P, like you said. Devil May Cry 5 is coming to Switch 2.
Yeah, that is an interesting choice.
Because that's quite an old game now.
But I suppose
that's coming.
I suppose it's a release you can do to capitalize on the Netflix series.
Yeah, RuneScape, that's coming as well. That's a port. The Hello Kitty Party Land, that's coming as well. So there's a lot of stuff here, but a lot of it was just ports like Deltarune, that's a port.
But no,
Minecraft, that's a port.
Well, no, Deltarune is a game that's has been a big part of the Switch 2 since launch. It's cool to see that Chapter 5 is coming. I need to actually get round to doing more Deltarune.
But other ports we're getting Space Marine 2 that we recently played on stream. That's coming to Switch now.
Yeah, Elliot said he wasn't going to pick that one up as a... but he did say he was going to probably pick up Lies of P.
Yeah, Lies of P. We also got Daisy's coming. The Metal Gear Solid Master Collection 2 is coming.
We already knew
Rise of the Tomb Raider is coming.
We already knew about the Metal Gear Solid collection. Tomb Raider was actually a shadow drop as well.
Yeah, so there are quite a lot of ports with this direct.
But there was some good stuff. Like one of the really good things is with the no longer cloud versions for Kingdom Hearts. That's all coming to the Switch 2.
And I believe if you have save files from the cloud versions, you can transfer them. I believe I saw that somewhere in a statement.
You can.
Yeah.
So that's coming, and they also did confirm Kingdom Hearts 4 will come to the Switch 2 on launch, and showed a bit more of Kingdom Hearts 4,
which is the most we've seen in years of that game.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't think we need to see that. To be honest, that could have been a tweet because.
Yeah,
they don't give any sort of release window for Kingdom Hearts 4.
No, they like a lot of these other games we've had like 2027 by itself. We didn't even get that. Kingdom Hearts 4.
This is not coming out in 2027 because Square Enix has to space out a big Final Fantasy release with a Kingdom Hearts release.
Yeah, we also got the demo for Kingdom Hearts 3 has gone up as well.
Here's a question actually, Reese. Do you think Kingdom Hearts is now bigger than Dragon Quest for Square Enix? Because we know their biggest franchises are Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. Do you think Kingdom Hearts overtaken Dragon Quest to be the number 2 franchise for them?
I believe so, yes, because Dragon Quest has been silent for a long time until we got the new 12 trailer. And a lot of modern audiences grew up with Kingdom Hearts. They don't really grow up with Dragon Quest anymore.
Yeah, and there's always going to be something with the Disney crossover. There's something for people because everyone has a bit of Disney in their lives on some.
Yeah, like even kids these days are still introduced to the Disney Renaissance era with like Aladdin and everything, Hercules,
I hope
and
they.
that's also in these games.
Am I weird in thinking I'd like to see them do Aladdin and the King of Thieves in? I think though that'll be interesting to see when Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out. I think we'll see. But the thing about it is, it does say to me we'll see another trailer for it next year.
Well, it makes me want to Kingdom Hearts 4, considering it's based in the real world now. If we instead like the classic Disney animated films, we're going to get the Disney live action remakes in this game.
Oh, that's going to annoy me if that's the case, because no one likes those live action remakes, and they know no one likes them.
But it's almost exactly in the real world now, so we could see them if they want to rehash them.
Let's see. Let's see where they go with this.
Yeah.
I think we need to talk about some first party stuff, because we talked about Rhythm Heaven Groove opened it, and I mean, it looks fine.
Yeah, that was like the first major one. Then other first party, we've got Orbitals. We talked about that had a new trailer and co-op.
Well, that's a first.
It's now being done through Game Share, so only one person needs to buy the game. Because a lot of these big two-player games I've had issues with, both people need a copy of the game to play, whereas this is just done on one copy.
The one thing I will say though, I have a bit of issue with Orbitals is there's no single-player aspect to it, so I still need to find someone to play that with.
Yeah, which I mean, you could probably play on stream or something.
Well,
because it's a Switch exclusive, or is it across other platforms?
It's going to be a Switch 2 exclusive at launch. It could be a while, but there are other things.
So your first party one we saw was Pokopia getting a new update and later DLC.
I haven't bought the DLC for that yet, so I can't comment on it.
Yeah, so it's 3 waves. The first wave is out now, and considering it's called Waves, the first one is underwater exploration now.
I put it this way: I'm hoping that it's really, really good, but I don't really feel as much as I liked it. I don't feel the need to go back to Pokemon Pokopia at this point in time.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I finished the story. I saw the credits for the review. It was good, but this is just more side stuff. It doesn't actually contribute to the narrative of the plot line. It's just you going underwater, seeing more waterside Pokemon, and that's it.
I mean, it's cool, but I'll come back to that one. We'll discuss that one later, obviously.
The next first party one was more Fire Emblem, Fortune Weave.
Yeah, that's coming out.
That was the next trailer.
September, that's the release date. It looks like you're
going to... September 17th.
You got 4 characters in this one, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah, from a visual presentation standpoint, it looks really good.
Like, this is the best looking Fire Emblem game.
Definitely.
I'm so excited to play it. That was probably one of my favorite announcements in the whole Direct.
And considering there's 4 main characters to choose from now, I wonder how long the game's going to be due to replayability.
It'll be interesting. I think it's going to depend on how the characters interact with one another, and because I imagine that we saw from the trailer, whichever one you pick, the others will factor into the story.
Yeah.
Interestingly, while we're on that one, there was also some HD. Square Enix were at this thing as well for HD 2D, because they showed off a new Final Fantasy, which is in the HD 2D engine. And it looks like it runs... From Elliot basically informed us, this is basically a remake of that mobile game, Brave Exvius.
Which I never played because I heard it had terrible gacha mechanics.
So it's good to finally get a version of that game that doesn't have the gacha mechanics.
Yeah, because apparently that was bleeding players dry to get all the heroes. And that just puts me off immediately.
But I'm so excited to play this. I'm so excited to play it.
Yeah, because there's never been a bad-looking HD 2G engine game. They all look fantastic.
And they all play amazing as well.
Yeah.
That being said, I do think I'm a bit worried about how much this might have impacted the sales of Tales of Elliot.
Yeah.
Because it has taken a lot of the focus off of that game.
Yeah, because that has... I believe that's had a demo now, and I got good feedback.
Well, it was out next month. We'll probably be discussing it in the next Professional.
Oh, but the next major first party to talk about after Fire Emblem was Ninjala 2, a franchise we know and love.
That's not It's not technically a first party game. It's a third party game.
Isn't it?
That they've done a deal with. Yeah, Nintendo don't make it or publish that.
Oh, I assume they did, with the focus on it.
No, it's not. But I like the fact it's a single-player game this time, because they've just realised they're not going to beat Splatoon.
Yeah, because the first game was just discount Splatoon.
But what an odd franchise to bring back from the pandemic era.
And it's going open world.
Yeah, what this is? I just remember watching that saying, "Who the fuck wanted to play this?"
Yeah, like the only thing I know about was the original game and that terrible anime on Crunchyroll we watched a bit of.
Oh yeah, no. Obviously, it must have made some money in Japan for this to do well. What? There was also a couple more to talk about.
So the next thing was the DK challenges, the Donkey Kong Bonanza. We saw a bit of.
I'm not interested in that really.
No. So it's more time exclusive stuff from NSO as well, which is like, that's what I hate about a lot of this NSO stuff. It's for a limited time, like Mario 99.
I remember Elliot said because it's not a game release, he didn't think it was as egregious. But I still think.
But because the fact was this time limit's over on September 1st, you can't play it anymore. That annoys me.
Well, it's not. It's really more an achievement system more than anything else.
Yeah.
But even then, it feels like there's a lot of work that's gone into this, and it's going to be gone.
Yeah, because if we took a break, to see this direct and come back in like October, discover, oh, look, it's news, we've got all these challenges, let's try them out. Sorry, time limit's over, you can't play this anymore. It's like, it's literally on the server, just let me play.
Good luck with that. Let's discuss the next thing to really talk about. What's the next thing to really talk about?
So going down the line, we've got the Jujutsu Kaisen game made by the Vampire Survivor team.
That looks really good as well, especially considering that they've added that multiplayer element to it, which I really like the look of. Yeah,
so that was good. Then it was Lords of the Fallen, Lies of P, Devil May Cry. Oh, the next major one was the Xenoblade block.
Yeah, so we're getting Xenoblade 1 through 3 are getting Switch 2 versions. Xenoblade 1's already out. 2 and 3 are coming later this year.
Yep, I'm seeing with Xenoblade 1, they've now introduced Mario Kart mechanics.
And they've also, there's new stuff coming to all of these games.
Yeah, all new modes.
They look fantastic, these new releases.
Yeah, so people who played them earlier, I've not played them yet, said it's a massive improvement.
But we also got an announcement of Monolith Soft's next game, which is probably coming next year from the looks of it.
Yeah, it was titled 2027 for the trailer.
Xenoblade Genesis.
I'm mixed on this trailer.
Yeah, if you hadn't told me this was a Xenoblade game, I never would have believed it, because it doesn't look incredibly Xenoblade.
So it turns out there's a reason for that. It got leaked years ago that Monolith Soft was working on a brand new IP titled Legacy. And in this trailer, they left in the folder location in the bottom left of the trailer, and it's titled Legacy. So a lot of people are thinking they've had this new IP, it didn't work out, so they're slapping the Xeno franchise on it to try and recover it, turn it into something different.
Right, because when Xenoblade 3 ends, there's not much for the story to go.
We see in the DLC they're going to a new planet that crosses over with the Xenoblade X Definitive Edition new ending. But this does not pick up any of those threads.
Yeah, because I was going to say, because we saw at the end of the DLC, spoilers for Xenoblade 3, DLC, we saw at the end of the DLC that the reunion has happened.
And we see from the older characters that there were space exploration going on with the rocket launchers based on the radio conversation.
So we know, which means all those fan comics are now canon.
Yep.
But I'm interested, will Xenoblade Genesis be its own separate thing, or will it try and tie in with the other games?
So far, it looks to be separate. There's a few nods people have noticed to other games in the franchise, but this game is mostly high fantasy with a few sci-fi elements in it. Like, we see at one point a spaceship buried in like a mountain, but that's pretty much it. The also is high fantasy. It's like we've now got elves as main characters. There's no Nopons anymore. Yeah, it's all elves and humans.
Yeah, the lack of Nopons really was noticeable. I'm wondering if they're going to get, if they've been holding that one back and they actually are going to get in the trailer.
Yeah, it just made me think if this is just that legacy game with Xenoblade slapped on it, if they're going to put all these other references in later in development to make it tie in more.
But obviously they have some idea because they're working on it and it's been coming out next year. I'm still dead excited for another game from Monolith Soft because they hit it out of the park almost every time.
Yeah, I'm excited from it from a fantasy and gameplay perspective, but as a Xenoblade fan, I'm a bit less excited because it doesn't look like it's going to tie in much to the overall narrative, which I was looking forward to in Xenoblade 4.
I get that, but I also feel like Xenoblade has kind of ended perfectly now. Maybe it's time to move on to something else.
Well, it's also because they sequel baited hard at the end of Xenoblade 3 with the DLC and Xenoblade X. Like we know that's continuing, but they haven't continued it with this game, which has annoyed a lot of fans.
What we don't know yet. They could be continuing it with this game. Let's discuss. So the next thing to talk about was Switch. Is it Switch Sports Resort next?
Yep, that's nice. That's coming out in October.
And I'm glad. Okay, I'm glad this one is launching with all the sports off the bat.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I kind of wish baseball was in here because that's absent, but.
Yeah, so there are a few modes still missing from this one, like sword fighting and frisbee golf are missing from the trailer that were in Wii Sports Resort.
Can I say I don't miss the sword fighting because they brought that back in the original Switch Sports and it was shit.
Yeah, but the original one in Wii Sports Resort was really good. The sword fighting because it had a single player mode. They should have brought it back and made it good again, not like the other Switch game.
God, I hate. But I mean, I'm glad that there's more of it. I do not like to look at the Fun War one.
Oh, that's such a weird focus in the trailer. Like they do a whole gameplay demo showing it off. It's like, why are you showing off this sport in particular no one cares about?
Yeah, like I said, who thought this was a good idea? Two, why are we putting so much emphasis on it?
Yeah.
I think I'm more likely to do the aeroplane one.
Yeah, but I was looking forward to the airplane. I was looking forward to boxing's coming back. That looks good. Oh, that's the other sport missing from this one. Cycling from the original Wii Sports Resort. Yes. That hasn't come back.
12 sports, though, is a good selection at launch, I'd say.
But they haven't announced any additional sports in the future, so it makes me think it would just be this 12 and that's no more.
I will say I'm glad they brought the bowling back. That was the best thing about Switch Sports.
Yeah. Because it's just a classic one. That and tennis is what you always think of when you think Wii Sports.
Exactly, yeah. I will pick up Switch Sports Resorts because I'll probably be the only one who want to review it. But
yeah, because I got burnt out on the last Switch Sports.
I can't imagine I'm going to spend that much time on it though.
Yeah.
So the final trailer, obviously. Was there anything else?
Yeah, so we had a few more announcements between that. We had RuneScape being announced. We had Hello Kitty. Star Fox got another trailer with the demo released afterwards.
I have played the demo, incidentally.
What should we get a demo?
It's really good. Like I think they've really nailed it.
Then there was Final Fantasy coming out October 22nd. Then Dragon Quest Monsters: The Withered World. Ali's looking forward to. That was announced. Also, December 3rd.
Also, when they did that highlight reel at the end, there was a lot of games where I didn't really care about it.
Yeah.
But one of them was Final Fantasy 14 is coming to Switch 2.
This was announced a few months ago coming as well. But people were pissed off because you need 2 subscriptions, one for the PC main version and one for playing on Switch 2. One subscription does not cover both platforms.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people are annoyed at.
Yeah, no, I just don't want to play fun. I don't have enough time in my life for Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, so I've not played an MMO since high school full time.
So,
we got a new show for Dust Bloods.
Oh yes, and that's
stuff we've seen before, as well as the announcement of a closed network test in summer.
That to me says Dust Bloods is not going to make 2026.
No. So after that, we had Splatoon Raiders got a new trailer, and that's getting its own direct.
Yeah, I don't know.
June 30th.
Yeah, I'll watch its own direct, see if they can sell me there. But I'm not a big fan of the look at Splatoon Raiders. It's not really selling me at the minute.
Yeah, well, it's a franchise I fell off after the original game on Wii U. Elliot tried to get me back into a 2 and 3, but I was just done with it personally.
If you're not very good at the game as well, it feels
Yeah,
like busy work.
yeah, especially because that multiplayer is not like a skill based, so you can match up against really skilled opponents, but your team is terrible, and you just get completely steamrolled.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's what I call Marvel Rivals. I'm the only one who wants to be the healer syndrome.
Yep. So yeah, that's going to direct itself on June 30th. Then we had more ports like Deltarune coming June. Metaphor ReFantazio is getting its port in November.
Oh, that.
So that is releasing the same time as GTA 6 now.
I'm actually looking forward to Metaphor ReFantazio coming to Switch 2. I might actually double dip for that one.
Then Minecraft is getting a native Switch 2 version
Cool.
with your worlds from the Nintendo Switch 1 version carrying over to Switch 2.
Then it was that highlight reel with
Yep, the massive sizzle reel. We've gone over most of those before.
I think we need to go to the big final announcement.
Yeah, there was Kingdom Hearts and stuff, and then it's this like last big announcement, then we're done.
So we sort of knew about it because of the leaks, but we got a teaser trailer for it anyway. Ocarina of Time getting a remake coming out sometime later this year.
Yeah, it was just 2026, no time frame, no fall or winter or anything.
I feel like they should have given a bit more of a window on that one. Like, obviously, we're going to see another trailer for it soonish.
Yeah, because I was expecting like a holiday release window for Christmas, get all the kids to buy it.
I think they're wondering, do they want to actually compete with Grand Theft Auto with this one?
Yeah.
To which I say, yes, compete. This is this one will actually sell buckets for Switch 2 owners. Most of the Switch 2 owners will not care about Grand Theft Auto 6.
Especially because you can't play GTA 6 on the Switch 2 anyway. So it's a different market.
Exactly. To me, I feel like that's one they should bring. It should bring it out in November.
Yeah.
Look, it's either going to be November or December. They're not bringing it out in September because they don't want to compete. They don't want to come and cannibalize their sales with Fire Emblem, and they're not going to do it in October because they don't want to cannibalize Switch Sports Resort. So it's November or it's December. Which one would you put your money on that they're going to do?
I think they may play it safe and go December only to avoid GTA completely.
I agree. I think it's going to be December.
Yeah. Because then you've also got the run up to Christmas with parents buying it for kids, especially parents who grew up playing the original, like we did on N64, buying it for their kids.
If what we saw in that trailer, if it looks that good when we actually get it, my God, it's going to look good.
Yeah. So the only brief snippet of real in-game graphics we saw was Link sleeping with the Triforce on his hand. Yeah. So and from that bit alone, that does look good with art style. Everything else is just a narration about the Great Deku Tree.
I mean, look, it looks awesome, but I want to see more of it before I really get hyped.
Yeah, because that's what I mean. I can't get hyped over CGI trailers or only brief snippets. Like with Legend of Zelda, we only saw Link sleeping, and it was a roughly similar time frame to what we saw in Spyro. That because that also had a very small segment of gameplay, but we saw actual free flight. We saw more graphics of it. Whereas Ocarina of Time remake, it was just Link sleeping.
If they didn't say 2026 on this, I would not believe this was coming out in 2026.
Yeah, same.
So, do you how would you grade that Nintendo Direct?
I think because I'm biased with all the Xenoblade upgrades we saw, I am tempted to go A-. But most of the other stuff, it was like ports, it was remakes. Nothing really first party grabbed me that was going to be a brand new IP. Like, I was expecting possibly like a new Mario game at this.
I sort of knew there wasn't going to be a new Mario game at this. I feel like Mario's next year. Yeah,
but I was expecting at least something rather than just the biggest headline is it's a remake of Ocarina of Time from the N64. That's your main headline, an old remake.
I'll bet you anything we get a Direct in September, and that's where we get the first teaser for Mario.
Yeah.
Because that will get headlines. Like that will get headlines no matter what goes off at the Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah, I think what they should have done was have Ocarina of Time either close the show or open the show, and then have Mario either open or close the show as well.
I feel like if E3 was still a thing, that would have been how it would have been done. But so I would say I'm torn between B+ or A- because
Yeah.
The port heavy nature of it meant that some of this wasn't that exciting, but when it
Yeah.
was
So
good, it was really good.
yeah, so if it was just like Xenoblade News only, it'd be like an A minus. But because of all the heavy port stuff, I go B, flat B.
Okay, honestly, I kind of feel like Xbox had the best show. Weirdly, I
Yeah,
don't.
Xbox announced the most new stuff and the better look at games because with a lot of PlayStation stuff, and we have seen with other places like the Resident Evil Veronica remake. I was expecting that to be the PlayStation show rather than Summer Games Fest itself having it.
But I'll just say overall,
Yeah.
none of these were I could complain about it. Or I thought that was pointless.
Yeah, there was at least something for someone at each of these different showcases,
I'd
which
say,
which we've not been able to say about previous years
yeah, and I will
where they've all
say,
fallen flat.
yeah, I will say in that sense, this year exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, that's my viewpoint on it.
Do you know what I found weird? And I know this is going to sound weird. I wasn't because I don't want to speculate on things, but I'm surprised the Nintendo Direct didn't have Marvel Rivals get announced.
Yeah, because that seems like it could be a perfect fit to play portably.
Yeah, if it runs on PlayStation 4, there's no reason it can't run on Switch 2.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because we've seen it streamed on the PlayStation Portal
Yeah.
from the PS4. So yeah, that easily could have worked out.
So, as overall, I'd say we've been at this a very long time. So let's wrap this one up. It's been a good one, but next
Yep.
month we're obviously back next month with another Unprofessional. Probably going to be shifting Anime Amigos to next month as well because of scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, since one of the major amigos is now in a band
And
that
also,
a lot of us want to go see.
and also I've got a wedding coming up as well, so I've got to travel to London for.
Yeah.
So we'll be back next month. We'll probably be discussing some of the big releases that come out in the next few weeks, which there aren't that many, weirdly. I mean, the only one I can think of is Adventures of Elliot.
Yeah, let's have a quick look. Okay, releases because yeah, a lot of it's been announced for the future, not really in the minute.
Yes, but I mean, there'll probably be some good stuff we play in the meantime. If nothing else, we'll have something to discuss. And all that being said,
Yeah.
thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, folks.
Goodbye, everyone.